Hi, Dave Nimick with Keller Williams, bringing you the first quarter 2021 insights that you deserve to know. So welcome to the March 2021 Total Market Report. I'll do a general market overview, including the metro area and Chicago information, then get into specifics by area, down to many of the most populated individual city neighborhoods, plus several North Shore towns. I will note in the description below at what time in the video each of the neighborhoods or towns are discussed. Now, I started doing these monthly reports after noticing that what other agents had been publishing appeared incorrect. My process is substantially more detailed than just kind of pressing a button and getting a report, which is what some of those other agents had felt was adequate. Unfortunately, also, sometimes the way that the MLS calculates properties is often not accurate. For instance, property that's contingent, meaning it's just gone under contract, is kind of in the silo of still being an active property as opposed to being an under contract property. And I just wanted to make sure that the details that I reported were 100% accurate. So the overall overview is that the first quarter, as is no surprise to most people, has been very strong, especially for single-family homes. They've been flying off the shelves. Many condo markets have been seeing a lot of really positive numbers. Some have been kind of flat, and some have been honestly on the downside. Now, the demand overall is the highest I've ever seen. I've been doing this over 20 years full-time, and it's the highest that I've ever seen. Now, the question is, how's it been fueled, right? Well, first, the economy is stronger than it was last year. Secondly, and this is true, same as last year, the pandemic has had us all cooped up and bored, and leading many people to decide, maybe quicker than they had anticipated otherwise, that they just wanted to move. They got tired of looking at their same four walls, and they wanted to move on. So that's been a big part of it, as it was last year, I think. And then an uptick in interest rates has actually fueled more demand. Now, this may seem counterintuitive, but stick with me for a second here. What happens is most buyers have realized that the rates are probably not going to go back down to their historic lows where they were, and they're going up and will continue to go up. So that has actually kept the pedal to the metal, with buyers actually wanting to get in while the getting's good, as opposed to theoretically waiting until they go back down, because it's less and less likely, it appears, that that's going to happen. So all of those things together have really played a big part in just fueling a very, very strong market. So the metro numbers for the entire kind of Chicagoland area are very positive year to date. Single-family home supply is down while demand is up, so that's certainly driving prices up. And believe this, almost 20% above where they were year to date last year. That is really good. Market time is down by a third, and sale to list ratio is up. So all that is positive. Condos, not quite as rosy, but still very, very good. Supply is up, but demand is up 3 times as much. Prices on the whole are up more than 8%. And both market time is down and sale to list ratios are better. All right, so let's talk about the city of Chicago. Now, demand is up enormously, and supply, while up a little bit from last year, is not up very much, and demand has been up enormously. And when you have that, simple rules of supply and demand, values are going to go up. So the values have shot up year to date compared to last year more than 20%, which is outstanding. Now, condos, the demand is also up substantially, but the supply is keeping pace with demand. So while the values have gone up on the whole in Chicago, which is also good news, they haven't gone up as much because supply has been keeping pace with demand. Let's talk about Lakeview. So Lakeview single-family home supply was up slightly, but demand was somewhat flat. So prices are also slightly down actually year to date. for Lakeview single-family homes. Condos, the supply is up, but demand is up even a bit higher, so that's a plus. Prices are somewhat flat. Now, market time and sale to list ratio, however, have seen improvements. So, Lincoln Park. Single-family homes, the supply is up a good little bit. However, demand is way, way up. And when that happens, the prices go up as well. So you've seen a big move on prices. The market time and sale to list ratio are also substantially better as well. And condos have seen similar, although not quite as dramatic numbers. The supply is up, the demand is also up, more outpacing supply. And the prices are up slightly, not quite as much. But both the numbers for condos and single-family homes have been good in Lincoln Park. So this is MLS area 8022, which actually encompasses the majority of Bucktown and Logan Square and kind of those surrounding areas. Unfortunately, it's not as neat and tidy as some other MLS areas, but it does include those neighborhoods. Going through those, the single-family homes supply is up, but demand is also really up substantially more than supply, and prices are seeing a nice bounce there, which is good. And in line with that also, market time is down and sales list price ratio is up. The condo market supply is up a little bit, but demand is up even more than that. Prices are not seeing quite as much of a jump as single-family homes, but they are still seeing a jump from last year. Market time and sale to list ratio are pretty much flat over last year. So talking about MLS area 8024. So this is a very convoluted looking area when you're looking at a map. It includes River West, Noble Square, Ukrainian Village, Wicker Park, West Town. It's not easy to pin down, but it does go by census tract, and those are some of the neighborhoods that are included. As far as single-family homes, the demand is way outpacing supply, and prices are, not surprisingly, up from there. The market time is also down quite dramatically. As far as condos, the demand is outpacing the supply, however, not by as much, and prices are actually down a little bit there year to date. So next is the kind of Roscoe Village, St. Ben's, Northcenter, and the surrounding areas, also known in the MLS as 8005. It encompasses all of those different neighborhoods. As far as single-family homes, the numbers are pretty much solid across the board. Supply is actually down and demand is up, so that has a very healthy, positive effect on prices. As far as condos actually, the supply is outpacing the demand. However, in kind of a quirky little scenario, the prices are up, whereas normally they'd be down. The prices are up slightly, so that is kind of just a nice bonus. Lincoln Square. So Lincoln Square, single-family homes, the supply is up just a little bit. But get this, sales have more than doubled. The number of sales has more than doubled. So definitely prices are up. And market time is also, not surprisingly, down almost 80%. So it's taken homes 1/5 the time it was last year to sell. So that is good signs for single-family homes in Lincoln Square. Condos, the demand is outpacing the supply. However, prices are down just a little bit. The sales to list ratio is better, so that's kind of a bright spot, but kind of mixed signals for the condo market in Lincoln Square. Area 8028, which encompasses the West Loop, University Village, Little Italy, United Center, and that surrounding area. So this area really kind of took it in the chops last year after prior years of seeing quite a bit of appreciation. This year, year to date, strange but true, Supply is actually outpacing demand. However, the prices are up slightly. So that is kind of a nice, strange little benefit to see. So 8008, which is MLS speak for River North, Streeterville, Gold Coast, Old Town, that entire surrounding area. Supply has substantially outpaced demand, which overall year to date, we have seen that the prices are down. However, for March, this March over March of 2020, we have seen that prices are up substantially. So that is an encouraging sign for things to come for the rest of the year. So the numbers for Winnetka are great. Supply is down 23%, but demand is up 20%. And get this, year-to-date prices are up 19%. So that is real solid after a lackluster year last year on values. Thus far, year-to-date, up 19%, which is great. Market time is still actually the average time it takes for a home to sell thus far, and some of these include homes that were on last year. It's 143 days. I have a feeling that number is going to continue to go down. But sale to list ratio is also higher. So all in all, a real positive start to the year thus far for Winnetka. So Wilmette has seen a real nice start to the year. The supply is actually down by a full third, and the demand is up by a third. So those are good signs, no matter how you slice it. And the prices are up more than 7%. So a good, healthy amount. Seeing values go up, and all the metrics are in the right place. The market time has fallen dramatically, and the sale to list ratio has gone up. So it's a very solid report card for Wilmette. So Evanston, single-family homes, the supply is down an astounding almost 50% over last year, and the demand is up. And that leads to prices being up almost 22%. So really great numbers for single-family home values in Evanston. The market time and sale to list ratio are also better than they were last year. Condos, supply is down and the demand is up. Prices are not up as much as single family homes. They are up slightly, but not as much. So all in all, pretty darn good for Evanston. Single family homes faring a little bit better than condos, but condos still a good, healthy spot. So Glenview's numbers are looking quite good so far this year. Supply is down and demand is up almost 30%, and that is driving prices up by more than 10% overall for all single-family homes there, which is outstanding. The market time is down dramatically, and sales to list price ratio is also up. So all in all, really good for Glenview so far. So Northbrook's numbers are looking quite good. Supply is down about 30%, and the demand is up almost 45%. So that is seeing prices jump more than 7% overall from the previous year, which is great. And the market time, well, actually still at 136 days year to date. No doubt having some of those homes from last year kind of spill over. I believe that number is going to keep going down, and the sales to list ratio number is also up. So all in all, really good report card for Northbrook. So Highland Park's numbers are really looking great across the board. Supply is down by at least a third, and demand is up almost 20%, and that is driving values up 22% over last year. Just awesome. Market time is also down by more than half, which is a huge drop. And the sales to list ratio is also up big. So really good for Highland Park so far this year. Deerfield's numbers are looking very good so far this year. The supply is down and demand is up almost 31%. So it's doing really well. And you're seeing prices going up in the area because of it. So that's always a plus. Market time is down almost half. It's down 45%. And the sale to list ratio is seeing a dramatic improvement over last year. So all in all good numbers so far for Deerfield. Glencoe's numbers are looking up, which is great. There is a 32% drop in supply, and the demand is up. So prices are up. Prices are up about 3%, so not as much as some other neighboring towns, but they certainly still are up. The market time is down a huge number. It's down 58%. Previous year had been at 260 days, so it thus far year to date is 109 days. But it is down 58%. And then sale to list ratio made a huge jump up as well. So all in all, encouraging numbers for Glencoe. Northfield is somewhat of a mixed bag. The supply is down. Demand is also down. Supply is down substantially more than demand is. Nonetheless, the prices are actually down a little bit, which surprised me, but nonetheless they are. Market time has dropped more than 40%, so that's a plus. And the sales to list ratio is also in a much better spot. So kind of a little bit of good and bad in Northfield, and hopefully we see those numbers improving. Kenilworth's numbers so far this year have really seen a dramatic improvement over last year. Last year was pretty tough beginning of the year, but this year is very good. Supply is flat, but demand is almost doubled. So that's a really good sign. And because of that, prices are up substantially. Market time has really dropped, which is no huge surprise. And the sales to list ratio have seen a really marked improvement as well. So Kenilworth is doing just great so far. So that puts the finishing touches on my March 2021 market report. If you have any questions or if I can help you with any of your real estate needs, please email me at dave@thenemickteam.com. Thanks.